So for this drill, we're going to be working on our form for just a double leg hinge with the focus on really maintaining a neutral spine and making sure the motion is coming from our hips rather than our knees or our back. So all we're going to do to start is I am going to have you turn to the side, or I'm going to turn this to the side so you can see me. And you're first going to just start with one hand on your stomach and one hand on your low back. And what I want you to feel is that in general, our low back should just have a very slight curve to it. And when we're doing this motion, this hinge, you want to think about nothing is moving under your hands. So just to show you here, if I keep my hands here and I would start to round my back, you're gonna sense that with the back hand. Or if I start to overarch, you can maybe sense that with the front or the back hand. So this is just to help cue you to make sure the spine is staying nice and neutral. And then all you're going to do is you're going to soften your knees. And the goal here is that nothing moves in between your hands as we slowly start to push our hips back behind us. The whole time we're maintaining our knees being just slightly bent. And the weight stays in the middle of our feet, or it stays equal between the balls of our feet and our heels. A lot of times as people hinge, they'll sink back to the heel, and what that's going to do is it's going to put a lot more tension into your hamstrings, which won't allow you to get into your glutes as well, or as easy. So once again, you're here, you're just going to keep hinging, keeping those knees just slightly bent, weight in the middle of your feet, and you're just going to keep thinking about your hips going farther and farther back without letting your knees translate back with them. So the knees literally do not move. And you're going to keep hinging, and what we're looking to feel is just some lengthening or some opening at the back side of our hips, at our glutes. We're trying to feel like there's some spreading happening and not necessarily just a hamstring stretch. If you're getting a hamstring stretch, all I want you to do is just soften your knees a little tiny bit more and make sure you're in the middle of those feet. And then keep hinging until you kind of find your end range, where you know your back is still not changing position. And right here, I can definitely start to feel like a little small stretch at the back side of my hips. And then as I stand up, my hands once again still aren't moving, my spine is still not moving, and I'm just gonna gently push through the floor at the inner parts of my feet and stand all the way back up. Once again, nothing under my hands is moving. Just to go through that again, knees are soft, hands are on your spine, nothing moves as you slowly hinge back, thinking about your hips going back towards the wall behind you without letting your knees move back with them. So your knees are always staying slightly bent, weight in the middle of the feet, going down until you feel a stretch in the glutes. If you're feeling a stretch in the hamstrings, just soften your knees a little bit more and you'll definitely start to feel it more in the glutes. Push through the floor to come on up. So once you get that down, you can even work on going into this position and holding and just giving yourself a few breaths just to hold this position. Easy breath in through your nose. Long exhale. You might find you can go a little bit farther. Easy breath in through your nose. Long exhale. And it's just a little bit more time under tension to really learn to open up those tissues at the back side of the hip that are often very, very tight on everyone, from my female clients to my male clients. A lot of us just have really tight glutes, and one of the best things you can do for your hip and your knees and your back is learn to open up that space. So why I teach people this is because once you're down here and you have that motion, I start to load it up fairly quickly. So if I'm here, I go ahead and I work on making sure people can get down to the far, kind of like the farthest depths of the hinge without any compensations. And I have them just work on that first. And then once that becomes more natural and they can get down into these like lower depths, all I have them do is think about, okay, don't let anything change. And now instead of having our hands on our spine, we're just lifting up a weight. So it's a very easy transition into learning to load up the hinge. So just go through those steps. You're probably not ready for a weight just yet, but just wanting to show you, where this is gonna go. But really learn to sit back in that hinge without our back compensating by either rounding, which is so common to see people do, or even overarching, okay? We just want a nice neutral back. So go ahead and give that a try, and hopefully you start to feel your glutes a lot more.